I'm going to show you how to fit a mortise lock on an internal if you replace the doors in your home. And here's what we need to do the job.
Mortise lock. Drill. Chisel. Tape. Door wedge. Square. Hammer. 16mm auger bit. Before you buy a lock, measure the side rails of the door to ensure the lock will fit. When you're changing a lock, bring the old one with you to buy the new one, so you're sure it'll fit. If you're working on a new door and frame, your lock should be between 900mm and 1 metre above the ground. Position your lock to match up with the strike plate of your previous lock. Mark the position of the latch on the door frame. Then transfer these marks onto your door. Using these latch marks as a guide, mark the top and bottom of the new lock on the door. Give yourself an extra 5mm leeway. Next, pencil in a vertical centre line to aid drilling. Secure the door firmly with a wedge before drilling. Mark the length of the lock body on a 16mm auger bit with a strip of tape. This will give you a rough guide on how far you need to drill into the door. Add about 3mm to the length of the lock. Then make a series of drill holes along the line. Use a chisel to smooth the sides of the mortise slot so the lock body will slide neatly into the door. Sit the lock in and mark the edge of the lock plate. You must now make a recess in the edge of the door so the front plate of the lock is flush with the door. Using a hammer and chisel, make a series of cuts with the chisel down the edge of the door where the lock face will sit. Then ease out the indentations made by the chisel to give you your recess. Hold the lock in position against the face of the door, and with the pencil mark the centre point of the handle spindle and the keyhole if there is one. Repeat this process on the other side of the door. And a handy tip is to drill the door from both sides, as this will help prevent splitting on the opposite side of the door. Using your drill and 16mm auger bit, drill holes through the door for your handle spindle at the positions you've marked with the pencil. Drill in from both sides to avoid splitting the wood. Make the keyhole the correct size by stitching 2 holes together. Insert the lock into the slot and tap into place with a hammer. Insert screws to secure the lock. And screw cover plates over the keyholes to finish off the job. Finally, if working on a new frame, chisel out a recess for the strike plate on the frame of the door. If replacing a mortise lock, fit the new strike plate in the same position as the old one. And that's how you fit a mortise lock to an internal door. And don't forget, always check your lock before closing the door.